At the top of this video, I want to get the obvious out of the way. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is a fantastic video game. The art direction is masterful, adding life to characters we've loved for years in every frame. Wonder Flowers make every stage a wholly unique experience and keeps you smiling throughout your entire playthrough. In Elephant Mario, he's basically the best thing to happen to Nintendo since Waluigi arrived on the courts 23 years ago. We're not really here to deliberate the greatness of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We're here as the co-op bros to determine if Nintendo, on top of everything else, nailed the co-op. Is Super Mario Bros. Wonder for you and your best friends? That's what I want to answer. Now that I've set the stage, let me give some brief context. Gabe and I played through the first 4 worlds of this game entirely in co-op. Mostly just the 2 of us, but also a few stages with the ladies in 4-player co-op. We also took the time to test how online worked in this game, something it feels like very few people are actually talking about, so we'll clear it up here. This review is going to be structured a little bit differently than how we normally do things, with a big section covering local co-op, a big section on the online, and then some final thoughts to wrap it up. Secondly, we played this on vacation and weren't able to record footage the way we typically do, but we did get to play and enjoy this on the couch like Miyamoto intended. So we won't be able to give you those curated highlights with our voices in the background that you might be used to from us, and you'll just have to put up with some generic co-op footage. It's all good, you'll still get what you need and walk out feeling a better gamer, I promise. So without further deliberation, let's talk about Super Mario Bros. Wonder's co-op. The local co-op at its very base is a lot of what you've come to expect from past 2D Mario games. You can play with up to 4 friends, you share a pool of lives, and the game gives you power-ups equal to your player count. That formula gets the job done. But there are several subtle tweaks here that I really like and add up to make Wonder stand out among its predecessors. First up is the way players respawn if they die. Before we had the bubble system, which forced players into a bubble, just sorta awkwardly waiting to be popped and to return to play. Now players have more agency as a ghost where they can fly towards their co-op partners, including the ability to speed up if needed and revive when they hit a friend. And if they don't make it, then you lose a life and revive automatically. Again, it's a small tweak, but it adds a lot of agency. On a larger scope, the game feels much more explorative in nature, in part due to its level design, but also due to its lack of a timer. Now, dropping the timer might seem superfluous, but it allows you to take your time finding all the secrets in a level, and that helps to tone down the chaos often involved in local co-op for these 2D Mario games. And overall, it feels like Wonder wants you to take things a little bit slower in order to emphasize the various secrets hidden throughout the levels, and of course those Wonder effects from the Wonder Flowers. That slower pace just helps the co-op flow a lot better. There are also these puzzle levels that really emphasize playing with friends, which were a real highlight in co-op. Plus, it's super easy to switch in and out of characters and change player count on the fly. Some people, I'm sure, are bummed that each player plays the same, but I don't really mind that. Except of course for Yoshi and Nabbit, and that's where I'm going to start with a little bit of criticism. These are essentially your easy mode for younger players thanks to them not taking damage and walking on normally dangerous terrain, which seems like a nice addition. It makes sense to have a couple of players that are simply harder to die with. But I think not allowing them to use the power-ups kinda defeats the purpose. What kid is going to be okay with not getting to play with the elephant power-up, especially if they're a huge fan of Yoshi? Feels like it wastes an idea that had the right intention, just the wrong execution. And yes, in 4-player co-op with varying skill levels, the game can just divulge into chaos even if the game does feel more relaxed. 2 players felt like the sweet spot for us, and Gabe and I are the same skill level, which is helpful. When the girls got involved, it was fun, but more so because you're laughing at the insanity of it all. Finally, there are some levels that are just clearly not designed with co-op in mind, and sort of buck my point on the slower explorative pace. Any level that is focused on speed is basically a free-for-all in multiplayer, where you're just sort of seeing who can be the leader of the pack. Plus a few Wonder Seeds give you a Wonder effect where you jump really far and really fast, and those levels just don't work with multiple people. There are only a few like this, and it's balanced out by those puzzle levels I mentioned, so just be warned. Now historically, Nintendo is known for totally botching online play in basically all of their titles, but I can actually appreciate what they've done here to try and get this right for 2D Mario. Let me start off by talking about those Mario Strand-like features you probably saw in the trailers. Yes, Mario is officially a Strand-like, just get over it. Whenever you're playing either in solo or in local co-op, you can turn online mode on, and you'll see ghosts of other players in your world. This isn't just for show, you can actually revive these players when they go down and give them power-ups. You can also play standees, which revive other players in ghost form if they touch one before the timer is out. That's where the strand-like stuff comes in. This may not seem like much, but oddly enough, I really enjoyed this feature. There were a few times when you'd actually join a level at the same time as another stranger, and intentionally help each other out, send an emote, and make a small connection. It was weird, but kinda cool. Explaining this feature will help me explain how online co-op works in Wonder. Essentially, to play with a friend online, you make a room with an optional password that a group of friends can join. The gist is that your friends are now the only ghosts you'll see in the game. This means you can see each other in the overworld and also play the same levels together at the same time. The game actually does tell you where your friend is at, what level they're playing, and you can jump over to that level or their location and just join them automatically, assuming it's not a level that you've yet to unlock. From there, all the same ghost mechanics apply. I can revive my friend, share items with them, and explore levels together without having to manage the screen. Oh, and you can also do some fun races if you feel like it to spice things up. This may all seem limited compared to the local co-op, and for sure it is. But as I said at the top, I appreciate this implementation because it's essentially Nintendo recognizing their inability to provide a consistent online experience and working within that framework to still give us a way to play together. Would I like the option to just play together in online co-op the same way that local works? Of course. But I guarantee you the lag would have made it a less than ideal experience and probably unplayable. I'm not trying to just give Nintendo a free pass for having terrible netcode or whatever, but still, I do think this works. Especially with that more explorative pace and feel that I keep calling out, this ghost mechanic does fit nicely. Plus, you can play some combo co-op too, with up to 2 people being allowed to play online per console. So yeah, overall, not perfect, but for the first time in as long as I can remember, it's Nintendo crafting an online system that I actually like. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I really did love what Nintendo did, both online and locally, to make Wonder one of Mario's best co-op experiences yet. For me at least, it makes co-op a feature that actually elevates the experience and makes an already amazing game risen to another level. They just as easily could have made the same tried and true co-op formula without caring, but they didn't. They tweaked and innovated in interesting ways, and it mostly all works. There's even an online mode that tries something different, and I appreciate what it's done to a mode that is usually botched or just completely ignored. But here's the biggest compliment I can give Mario Wonder's co-op to end the video. At the top, I told you guys how Gabe and I played through the first 4 worlds together while we were on vacation. Since then, I've gotten to play through the rest of the game on my own, but as I was playing alone, I couldn't help but keep thinking, man, I wish that I was playing this entirely in 2-player co-op with Gabe. The Wonder effects are just such a delight and so magical that you want to share those experiences with someone else. When you're oohing and awing, I think that's just more fun with a co-op partner. I didn't expect to leave this game feeling like 2-player co-op was my preferred way to play a Mario game. But I did, and with that in mind, I can confidently say that you should try playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder with your best friend, locally or online. Alright guys, that's all here for Super Mario Bros. Wonder's co-op. We wanted to get out just something for you guys to see, especially because, like I said, not a lot of people are talking about the online co-op, and I want to hear your thoughts, so go ahead and comment down below. If you appreciated this content, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and be sure to check out our socials. We're posting all sorts of good stuff there too. We'll catch you next time on another episode of the Co-op Bros.